Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Dean, or as most of you know me, Twisty. Welcome back to our Big Bash, the knockout game. The Strikers, and it says the Thunder, but it's actually the Sixers. My bad with the graphics there. But welcome on in to the Sydney Sixers versus the Adelaide Strikers. Of course, we are at the Adelaide Oval here today. Thank you guys for tuning in and enjoying this Big Bash series. We're almost towards the end. This is how it looks right now. The winner of this game will play the Melbourne Stars in the Challenger final. The winner of that will then go through to play the Sydney Thunder in the actual final of the Big Bash. Now, at the time of recording this video, I've got no idea who's going through, who's not going through in the real world, because tonight's game is actually the real challenger. It is the Stars and the Thunder facing off in that one. The winner of that will play the Sixers. But today, we've got the Sixers and the Strikers for a spot in, I guess you can call it like a semi-final or a prelim final, depending on which way you look at it. There's Phil Salt getting the Strikers off the mark. The big boundary down the onside. And he's chopped it on the very next ball. How good is this from Jackson Bird? Just put it out there. I mean, it's really just a poor timing of the shot that results in the wicket. But Jackson Bird gets it done. The reason Josh Hazelwood is not in my Sydney Sixers team is because I didn't have a chance to actually add him in. But he will be in should the Sixers get through to the next game. That's a big if, because we got the Strikers. So he might possibly not even get in at all. Let's have a look at that. But Travis Head, he's in at the moment at number 3. Really scored his first boundary of the day through mid-wicket. And just pulling that one over the top as well. Should be a couple more runs. Got some fielders down there, the Sydney Sixers, which I think that this is going to be a really interesting last couple of games in the Big Bash. You know, the Thunder finished 5th, and all of a sudden they are now in with a chance to possibly be in the final. Should they beat the Stars tonight? The Stars finish first, and then there's all kinds of drama has gone on since then. The Thunder have never lost a Big Bash final. The Stars have, had a really poor track record. That was almost caught, but it went for 6. This is a big shout, and given. So the Sixers get another wicket. That's 2 down for the Adelaide Strikers, 2 for 41. After Travis Head hit 17 from 10. Handy little knock there. As Alex Carey with the last ball of the power play hits it for 4. So the Strikers end the power play 2 for 48. Not a bad way to start things off. So field spread out now. It'll be interesting to see how well the runs come. Oh, this is almost a second run, but it's a run out. A direct hit from Nathan Lyon. And all of a sudden, the Adelaide Strikers, this is just a silly decision to run again because the backing up was done superbly. The throw came in hot, and the bails were dislodged with a direct hit. The Strikers 3 for 41. Now, Jono Wells and Alex Carey in at the middle. Alex Carey came in at number 3 inside the first over. Has only faced the 8 deliveries. My goodness, he has been devoid of any sort of strike. Travis Head has sort of hogged the majority of it. Now Jono Wells has even faced more balls at him. So Carey just needs a chance, I think. Really, this one pulled away by Jono Wells. He's one of the best middle order players in the Big Bash. Really just gets the job done time and time again. Unfortunately for the Strikers, they couldn't get it done in the final against the Thunder. A little bit disappointing. Oh, shot over cover. And Alex Carey, he's used up a lot of stamina, and he's going it now just underneath a strike rate of 100. So he would want to pick that up to give the Strikers somewhat of a legitimate total. This is another run-out chance. Lyon with a direct hit again. This time it's Carey who's run out. Spent a lot of time at the crease and unable to get the results at the end. With this pick up and throw by Lyon. Bang. Not even in the frame. Alex Carey goes for 21. The Strikers 4 for 100. We're looking at that run rate and we're going, all right, they'd probably want to see 150 as the score. I'd be much happier with that. If they go at 10 and over from here, that'll get them to around about 160. So we know Rashid Khan is a bit chaotic with the way he hits the ball, but he can hit some boundaries and in some fine fashion if he gets onto a few. At the moment, he's just 7 from 9, and it's Jono Wells who's doing majority of the work. Oh, that's nice from Jono Wells again. And this run rate just jumped a little bit in the last couple of overs. They have gone at 10 and over for the previous 2. So if they keep doing that for the next 4, that gets them to around about... Oh, that's a catch. Oh, I reckon. I was going to say 160, but that is out. And it is Jono Wells, and it is Nathan Lyon who gets it. What a game he's having. Already had the 2 run-outs so far. Now he gets one. Just balloons off the keeper's pads, I think. Or his gloves, and then he's able to get around to it. Josh Felipe, or Philippi. Still don't know how it's actually pronounced, if it's Felipe or Philippi. But Rashid Khan now just hauls out pretty quick and smart after. Nathan Lyon again. As we head into the 17th over. The striker's 6 for 127. It's up to the bowlers to maybe get a few handy runs. This could be out. Oh, dropped. Maybe strategically dropped. Could have been over the rope at the time. Nisa picks up 3. Up to 130. Inside, what are we at? 17.1 overs. So you'd have to expect 150 as a minimum here. That's an outside edge, but it's 4, so they don't care how they get the runs. As long as they get them. Another edge. And another boundary. So that's what happens when you got that third man up. Back-to-back boundaries. They end up with 10 plus again from the over, and they're 6 for 141 with 2 overs to spare. And that is into the gap beautifully by Nisa for 4. So at the moment, the strikers, they are keeping this total up to a pretty respectable one at the moment. That's going to be 4 again. I reckon it's fine enough for Matt Short. And 154 with 1 over to come. They could even push 170 if they're good enough. And that would be a really, really handy total. The first ball of the last over goes for 4. Nisa striking at 250, I think. What a start by him. This one down the ground towards long off. The field is pretty wide. Can't get to it. So another boundary. And Nisa is teeing off at the moment. Have a go at him. Another pull shot. Another one into the gap. And 4 more. Up to 166. 1 ball to come here. From Moises Enriques. Who surprisingly hasn't bowled too much in this big bash. None for 38 from just underneath 3 overs. Last ball. What will the strikers end up with? It's a dot. 166 becomes the total. Little handy one for them in the end. They'll be pretty happy with it after their start. And the consistent losing of wickets. Look at that line involved in 4 of the 6 wickets. Jackson Bird, the other 2. And just no real standout performers with the bat. Jono Wells, 44 from 29. And some cameo innings in there as well. But it's time for the Sixers to come out and have a bat. What will they end up with for their score? Obviously chasing 167 for victory. Big Billy Stanlake to Josh Philippi for the Sixers. Now, I'm going to keep saying it a different way every time. So the next time I'll say it, it'll be Felipe gets off the mark. And he does. Through mid-wicket for 4. Just that way I please everyone. I'm sure it's one of them. I think Philippi is maybe the correct term. I feel like Felipe is cooler. Anyway, this one pulled away. Should be a couple more runs. Oh, it's going to be tight looking for 2. Can Vince get back? Or maybe it's Philippi get back. I reckon Carey's whipped the bails off him. We're going to see a wicket. Finger goes up. Oh, yeah, he's not even close. So Josh Philippi out for 10. Striker, the Sixers, sorry. 1 for 10. In 8 balls. That's off the gloves of Steve Smith. As he comes to the crease. Could he carry the Sixers to a big bash win? This is the thing with the Sydney Sixers as well. They're already through to the final. They've got Josh Hazlewood, Nathan Lyon and Steve Smith in their side from Australia's Test Arena. They've just got a number of quality players in there at the moment, including James Vince from England, who's done a fine job as well, was the player of the match against the Stars, of course, in the qualifier for the final. But at the moment, it's Smith, who's 21 from 12. And the Sixers in a reasonable spot in the power play, but there's a wicket. I think it's Rashid Khan. Gets Steve Smith. Gets it to turn enough. Beautiful stuff. Rashid Khan getting Steve Smith for 21. Oh, pulled away. Should be 4 and is. So, of course, a free hit there. Might have missed the no ball. But with 1 ball to come in the power play. Well, the power play is now over. The Sixers, 2 for 52. This one high in the air. Fielder getting underneath it. Can he take the catch? Yes, he can. So a 3rd wicket down for the Sixers. Rashid Khan, once again, the man to get the breakthrough. Just a really high ball. Have a look at it here. Taking an eternity to get down to the ground. And a good catch is taken down there by John O'Wells. The Sixers 3 for 52. All of a sudden, you might just be favouring the strikers in this one. If they get 1 more wicket, it just becomes a bit more of a task for the Sixers. But Daniel Hughes and James Vince, they're going to look to build a partnership here, rebuild for the Sixers. That's what they've got to do. This one through point, through behind point, and it's 4. So Vince is looking good, even off the bowling of Rashid, who's about to finish his 4th over. Already in just the 9 over mark, and it's 4 again. So Rashid Khan's now bowled out. He went for 2 for 34 from his 4 overs. Lots of pressure now on the other bowlers to get the job done. Because all of a sudden this partnership is just starting to grow a little bit. And Vince is looking very good as he goes over mid-off for 4. And again, the boundaries keep coming. Have a look at this shot. Placed beautifully over the top. And finding the gap once again is Vince. Goes to 49. He's not quite striking at 200. But what he's doing is he's finding the gaps time and time again with placement. This time running it down to 3rd man for a single. Brings up his half century. 50 from 32 now. And another boundary. So 50 partnership up. And it has been largely the Daniel Hughes show. No, it hasn't. It's been the James Vince show. Jeez, I'm not even paying attention to the scores, am I? Just Daniel Hughes' face popped up on the screen. It confused me for a second. But all of a sudden, it's now just 53 from 40. And the strikers are in desperate need of a wicket. Has he got the catch? Yes, he has. Right on the boundary, just inside the rope. And it is a wicket, and it is the big one of James Vince. Going to that shorter boundary at the Adelaide Oval, which is the square one. And look at this catch, just great awareness of where the rope is. Keeping himself inside it. Nisa, great work on the field there. Matt Short is the man who gets the wicket. But now Hughes, who's been at the crease for a little bit of time, it's now his opportunity to stand up and say, I'm going to take responsibility to get some of these runs. That is a cracking shot down the ground. And the run rate required for the Sixers now is about 7. Or just underneath 7. It's about 6.8. Which is exactly what you want heading into the final 5 overs. Now Silk finds the gap. 4 more. Gee, not far off now are the Sixers. They've got it to 6 and over. They found the boundary again. It's less than a run a ball. And Vincent Hughes have just put them in such a strong position as Silk hits another boundary. It's 20 needed from the last 4 overs. And it looks like the Sixers should get it done from here with a Daniel Hughes 6. Off the bowling of Peter Siddle. It's now 14 from 22. He whips it into the gap again. Another boundary. 10 from 21. Not even Peter Siddle can get the job done here for the Strikers as Hughes finds the gap once more. And it's just 6 more required from the final 20 deliveries. Daniel Hughes just dabs this one towards sort of a cover mid-off. Is that a real position? Probably not. Picks up his 50, retains the strike. 7 fours and a 6 inside his half century. It's just been a cracking innings from Daniel Hughes. Stanley coming into bowl. It's 3 for the Sixers to win. Hughes finds the boundary and the Sixers progress through to the challenger in the Big Bash finals. They defeat the Adelaide Strikers by 6 wickets. After a slow start, 2 big partnerships. Hughes and Vince. And then Hughes and, who's that other bloke? Silk at the crease. Just doing the job for the Sixers. There's the winning runs there by Daniel Hughes. All the way to the boundary for 4. And James Vince, the player of the game, 62 from 38. Hughes 54 from 29. 2 really powerful strikers at the crease. After the Sixers looked like they were in a bit of trouble at about 3 for 50 odd, those 2 won them the game. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. This means the Sydney Sixers will be progressing to play the Melbourne Stars. The winner of that game will, of course, play the Sydney Thunder in the final. I'll bring you that game hopefully tomorrow, if not by Friday. So have a good one, everyone, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.